Start. So 1 second, are we live? I'm just checking, guys. We are just checking with the setup. Hopefully we go live.
Yes, yes, we are live. We are live.
We are live.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to A to Z United and welcome to our first live stream video. In this video we're going to talk about a lot of other topics. First of all, we'll be covering Manchester United's next away Premier League game against Leicester City, the crucial game which is coming in the weekend on Saturday, 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The next is, of course, we'll be discussing about our opponents, about Leicester City, and what they're going to bring in this particular match. And the final is we are also going to discuss about the ongoing managerial issues at PSG. There's a big breaking news coming in that Thomas Tuchel has been sacked by the PSG board. So we have a lot of discussion regarding that particular topic as well. And of course, the potential appointment in PSG, the talk around the whole football world is going to be Mauricio Pochettino, the manager who for the past 4 months has been touted the next replacement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, is this going to be a good appointment for PSG? Are Manchester United going to be losing out? A lot of these discussions are going to be happening. But first things first, I'm going to introduce to you and welcome Ankit More, brother. It's good to have you here again, and it's pretty much exciting to have you here with us, with me, and doing this together with you in our first ever live YouTube streaming as well. So thank you so much, brother. So Ankit, first things first, our first Premier League match. I mean, not the first one, but
Team.
our next Premier League game against Leicester City. I'm pretty
Mhm.
excited about this. Manchester United are currently in a wonderful run of form, and apart from Tottenham and Chelsea and Manchester City as well, Manchester United are currently in the title mix. So a few weeks ago there was no talk about that, but thanks to our upturn in form as well, and we are currently the most informed team in the Premier League as far as the results are concerned in the past
Correct.
7 games, 6 wins and a draw. So I'm pretty excited to see our next Premier League game at Leicester City. So what are your thoughts on the game, brother? Talk us through it.
First of all, Merry Christmas to everyone, to all our A to Z subscribers, to our A to Z family,
Merry
and hope you
Christmas,
all
yes.
have hope you all have a great year ahead. And talking about tomorrow's game, yes, very excited. We are doing this live stream for the first time, and also we will be covering tomorrow's game in our live stream as well. And it is a proper Boxing Day clash between the top two and the top three teams in the Premier League. Leicester have been a very decent team in the recent years. They have consistently achieved top six with Ranieri. They won the Premier League in 2015, and then after Brendan Rodgers took over them, I think they are pretty decent and a solid side. Their away form is comparatively similar to what United have. They are in the second position in terms of away performances, whereas United is the first team when it comes to the away games. Also, I want to say that their home form, Leicester's home form is not quite good. They are mid-tablist side when it comes to their home performance. Again, similar characteristics to what United have shown in this season. But yes, on the other hand, I think United are just stepping up to the table, just stepping up to what we have, and just piling up the pressure on Liverpool and Leicester and Everton in this Premier League contention. I'm very happy with what United have done in the last couple of games, especially against Leeds, where we won 6-2, and against Everton in the EFL quarterfinal, we won 2-0. So in both these games, I saw an identity. I saw a style of play where United were playing with high intensity, high pressure, similar to what Liverpool play. So I was very happy, and after a long time, I've seen some identity that United play with. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it was in the first season. It was basically sit back and counter attack, which usually big teams or big clubs like United won't do. And but in the last couple of games, I have seen a good identity that we have. We are pressing opponents. We are sucking the life out of them. And just talking about the Everton game, I think we really dominated the first 30 minutes in that Everton game. We were unlucky that we didn't score, and yeah. pretty much excited, pretty much looking forward to tomorrow's game. We will cover our other comments and other tactical perspective in the next section. But overall, on I think I'm very pretty much excited to see how United perform tomorrow. If we win, I think it's gonna be a great boost. It's gonna be a great momentum going ahead, and we will be second in the table, just 2 points behind Liverpool. So it's going to be very interesting to see how United perform tomorrow.
Yes, Ankit, absolutely. So Leicester City, of course, are currently a spot above us. They're in second position. We are in third. Of course, they have played an extra game, and they also have 1 point, more than us as well. So, this is a game again, as you can say, that we cannot slip up, considering how close the title, how close the teams are right now. I'm not going to say the title race as of now, but considering how close teams are as of now. So you have. Leicester City just 1 point above us. So, yes, of course, United need to win this particular match and stay above Leicester. And of course, our one game in hand is, to all of viewers, if you all don't know, the game in hand is against Burnley. That was the opening day fixture that did not happen. So, still, we have that game to play and we have to win that as well. But first things first is we need to defeat Leicester City. Now, speaking of Leicester, Ankit, Leicester City have had a really good start to the season. Of course, it's been a mixed start for all the top six sides. But that being said, right now, Leicester City have also been a pretty good, they have a good start. They defeated Manchester City 5 goals to 2. Jamie Vardy is again in a hot run of form. He's currently in the top three position as far as the race of Golden Boot is concerned in the Premier League. So he is doing pretty well. And Manchester United, of course, we don't need to speak about their form as well. We defeated Leeds United 6 goals to 2 in our previous Premier League encounter. And of course, we had a much needed victory against Everton in order to hunt for our first cup, during Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure as well. So our form is also pretty high, and Solskjaer made 9 changes against Everton. He has made 9 changes against Everton, but that still looked like a pretty tough, United lineup as well. We had Paul Pogba, we had Donny van der Beek, Eric Bailly had come in, Tuanzebe was there. Of course, Bruno Fernandes, Edinson Cavani also was one among the 9 changes. So, speaking of all this, we've had so many changes as well. As far as the our potential lineup against Liverpool, you know, who do you think are the players who are going to be playing
Against Leicester,
against
sorry.
Leicester? I'm so sorry, yeah, against Leicester. So who do you think would be the players, and what changes will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer make? You know, based on the previous game against Everton, which he has played. So what are your thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, as you rightly said, we made 9 changes from the game against Leeds, and we still dominated and won the game 2-0 against Everton. Again, with the 9 changes, look what we had on the field. We had Paul Pogba, Donny van der Beek, we had Cavani, we still had Bruno Fernandes, we had Greenwood, yeah. Then we had Bailly coming in, Henderson in goal. So if you see our squad, our starting 11 is spot on. We have two decent starting 11s that we can go head to head against any opponents. We have a backup in every department apart from the center back. If you see in goal, we have De Gea and Henderson, two great world-class goalkeepers. We have Aaron Van Bissaka, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Brandon Williams on the right-hand side, Alex Telles and Luke Shaw providing two aspects of attack and defense in their gameplay. But when it comes to the centre-back situation, I think that is the area where United lack. Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire need to get a divorce, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to break that partnership because it's not working for United. It's nearly not working. They are both too slow. Harry Maguire has the physicality, but Lindelof doesn't. And then when you bring in Buy into the squad, I think that makes a whole lot of difference. We saw that against Everton, just because Buy was playing, Everton were not able uh, to drop that long ball to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and that is the reason their half of the threat was minimized by United. And Buy, when he plays into the United squad, he has the tenacity, intensity, aggression. We saw that he made Richarlison get off the field by that headed tackle, and when Bai comes into team, I think we have a different aspect altogether in terms of our defense. He has the speed, he has the tenacity, and this is the part that is lacking in Lindelof. So when Harry Maguire and Lindelof play, I think they are quite similar centre backs, and that does not provide good stability in a defense, and that is the reason we are lacking so many goals. So yes, if Eric Bailly remains fit and remains cautious, doesn't engage himself into reckless tackles, then I think he is the center back that we all need. But we all know that he hasn't been fit for quite a long time. He hasn't had a consistent run of games where he can remain fit. So United and Ed Woodward should target a center back desperately in this January transfer window, because this season I think we can do something special with the squad. We have the players, we have the right mentality. Ole has now getting few things right in terms of tactics, formation, starting 11. He is getting things right. So and also Pochettino is off the table now, so there is no additional pressure on him. Yeah, there will be talks if he doesn't perform well that he might get the sack, but the main threat which was there, that is Pochettino, will be potentially going to PSG. So that boat has sailed. The Pochettino to Manchester United boat has now sailed. So yes, looking forward to for tomorrow. Very excited. Boxing Day, second and third table clash. And then we'll see how United perform tomorrow. I'm looking forward for a win. I'm certainly looking forward for a win. We'll talk about the lineup that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might pick. But what are your thoughts? I want to get your thoughts into it. What do you think? Can Manchester United overcome Leicester tomorrow, or do we see a dip in form, or that blip where we get that inconsistency? What do you think? Do you expect a win or inconsistency
I
again?
Yes, Ankit. Yeah, so I comfortably expect a victory over here. There are a lot of factors. Of course, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made 9 changes to the lineup against Everton, so we have good defensive midfielders, Fred and McTominay, who have been rested in the week, who have been excellent. So just bringing them back, and even Marcus Rashford as well. So, as far as our players are concerned, we have enough game changes in the match to basically take the game to Leicester City and win them. And our away form has been really excellent. So I think currently Manchester United has made a club record of winning 13 away games against English oppositions. So this is also an away game. It's at King Power. So taking that into consideration, I expect a United victory as well.
We have
Is it
won
going to
all our
be?
away games. Yeah, we have won all our away games in this season. And
Yes.
domestically, we haven't lost a single away game for the entire 12 months. So that speaks volume of the squad. And if we can replicate the same form to our home fixtures as well at Old Trafford, I think then there is no way we can be no, there is no way Liverpool can stop us from being the champions. Though I'm speaking far fetched, but if we can see such improvement in the home fixtures, then the title contention or the challenge for the title contention is not far away.
Yes, I get. And as far as the question is concerned, that is this going to be an easy match? No, it's not going to be an easy match. Leicester City are definitely not going to be as open as Leeds United. It's going to be somewhere similar to, let's say, how Everton had played. But against Everton, we went on the front foot. If we play a similar game against Leicester City, I don't see why we can win this game. If we are able to score about 2 goals in the first half, I think the game is done and dusted. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can do, he can basically rotate the squad more, bring in a few substitutions. And as far as the threat that Leicester City provide, if we are able to keep Jamie Vardy and Madison a bit quiet, I'm sure then we can effectively negate the threat that Leicester City is going to offer as well. But again, as you mentioned, Lindelof did not start against Everton, so there's a huge chance of Lindelof. He'll definitely be starting against. So I think it's going to be a question as to how our defense is going to cope against the attack that Leicester City is going to offer. You've got Jamie Vardy, you have Madison, you have Gray, you have Tielemans as well, who is a very good attacking.
Harvey
Uh,
Barnes.
Harvey Barnes as well. Yes, Barnes has been excellent. So, they definitely have. I mean, the table doesn't lie at the end of the day. The Premier League table does not lie. We are 14 games into the season. Leicester City has provided a bit of consistency. They have been defeating, they have got good results against top teams this season. Of course, it's going to be a difficult match for Leicester City as well. And they have enough firepower to even take the victory, take the game against us, and even take the victory as well. And considering that they are at home, they would definitely like to take the chances as well. So that's where our Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics, the approach to his game is definitely going to matter over here. And so, what do you think of the formation right now? What do you think the formation is going to be like, and the individual players that he's going to pick basically against Leicester?
Yeah, same formation as he always does, 4-2-3-1. Against Everton, we saw Matic drop back and act as a third centre back with Bay and Maguire. Last year, when we played against them, the all important game, the knockout game, the game which decided which team will qualify for the Champions League, there also he played Matic, and he played Matic as the third centre back, and we played Pogba and Bruno. So I expect some similar formation and tactics in this game as well. uh, Speaking of the lineup, again, De Gea will come into the squad. Now, I want to ask you a question over here. Does Henderson deserve more start at United, or should he be loaned back to any other club in this January transfer window? Considering he is getting minimal game time and a goalkeeper of his stature, I think we should be playing more matches in this stage of his career.
Um, Actually, I feel that keeping Dean Henderson in this season is an absolute must. Considering that Romero has gone out of favor, so we definitely need two world-class goalkeepers as well. As far as uh, Dean Henderson playing regularly, uh, he's definitely going to get a lot of games because Manchester United currently are in all the competitions as well. They're into Europa League. They're into all three domestic competitions: the FA Cup, the Premier League, of course, and the EFL Cup as well. And Dean Henderson, of course, who played all three EFL Cup games, hasn't conceded any of the goals. And what I feel personally is at this point in time, Solskjaer, could opt to play Dean Henderson consecutively as well. Like he could even provide him a good run of games in the Premier League. Of course, it's difficult to keep our number
But then
one goalkeeper.
De Gea hasn't made a mistake in such a long time that he should be dropped. So bringing in
Yes.
Henderson and the basically I want to see is what is that our back four or the back five with the goalkeeper remains stable. So whenever
Mhm.
Manchester United have won the Premier League or the Champions League, we have had a solid defensive unit back four with a goalkeeper, maybe Peter Schmeichel, Van der Sar. So we have had a good back four or a back five that doesn't change week in and week out. So I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should at least stick to one goalkeeper and play Henderson as he used to play Romero into the cup competitions or into the Europa League. So yes, then it's upon Dean Henderson if he needs more game time. I don't think he will leave the club, but then again, we never know. It happened with the Lukaku. It happened with I think Smalling, where they were needed more game time and they left the club. I don't think Henderson will leave the club. That is for sure. But I think he should be playing more. And bringing in Henderson has put more pressure on De Gea, and now you are seeing a whole lot of improvement in him.
Hmm.
Last season, De Gea made howlers after howlers, and this season I think he hasn't put a step wrong. So it has certainly bring out an improvement in De Gea. So yeah,
And
we
and he
will
was
continue with the
pretty
line.
yes, and he was pretty good against Leeds United as well, right? He did make two
Yeah,
crucial
yeah,
saves.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think, of course, the way Leeds play and the way our defense is, of course, that's why they were having a lot of chances. But as far as the goalkeeping performance is concerned, the guy was pretty solid as
Uh-huh.
well.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and as you mentioned, a good point that you basically mentioned is that United do have enough cup games this season. Of course, Dean Henderson started all the EFL Cup games. We are currently into semi-finals, so there's going to be two more games, potential two more EFL games over there, the semi-final and the final. Apart from that, we have the FA Cup. We also have the Europa League as well. So there are enough cup games where Dean Henderson can be rotated. And again, it's going to be a congested fixture list if we are there in all the competitions come, January end or even by February as well. So I think
So
Dean Henderson is going to be a very integral part of this United side. Of course, we do need De Gea because De Gea has been a number one for, I think for what, 10 plus years as of now.
yeah, he's
So
a legend in the club. To be very
he's
honest, yeah,
already a legend
he
in the
has
club.
he has he has kept this club kept clean sheets on his own. at this club. So yeah, uh, I'll keep De Gea, and the reason is that we need Dean Henderson is because it's provide competition to that goalkeeping position, because in every position now, if you look at in the attacking perspective as well as in the midfield, we have replacement, like to like replacements. We have competition for places, and that's what I wanted to see at United. Earlier under LBG or Mourinho, we had certain set of players, and then they used to rate, but there was no clear cut to cut competition. But now, with the signings that we have made, maybe it be Teles or Cavani, I think we have added competition to certain positions in that starting 11. And now, after, as you said, making 9 changes at Everton, and still we won the game 2-0, that speaks again volumes that we can make changes, we can change our whole squad, and then still again dominate a good Premier League side in a cup competition. So, yes, definitely I'll keep Dean Henderson at Manchester United. Then at the right back, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka plays with Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Now, the problem is, do you want to see Harry Maguire and Lindelof partnership continuing, or do you want to see Eric Bailly come into the squad and maybe perform the same way that he did at Everton? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, against Leicester City, I would definitely prefer having Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire, considering the amount of defensive solidity that Eric Bailly provides. But I think there are a few qualities which Victor Lindelof also possesses as compared to the other defensive counterparts. Of course, Eric Bailly is fantastic in the air, and in this game, considering the hot form that Jamie Vardy is in, I think it's going to be difficult. I'm actually pretty skeptical to see Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire's partnership against Leicester as well. But that being said, as I mentioned, the different players definitely bring different aspects to the game, and Victor Lindelof has that final ball, has that final through pass that he can provide.
100%.
Uh,
Yeah.
if you, I think a few weeks ago,
So
if you remember the game
that means
against
Harry
Sheffield.
Maguire. So that means Harry Maguire needs to be dropped, right?
Uh, well, again, and he's a captain of the club as well. And but here's the thing,
And but
what
that
I
is the
would like
reason.
to
Yeah,
see.
that is the reason I think he shouldn't be made captain of this club, because his performances are pretty good. I'll not criticize him, but then when it comes to being a partnership with Lindelof, I think either of them needs to be dropped. And most probably in most of the cases, it will be Lindelof, because Harry Maguire is the captain of the club. And if you make some other players, maybe as captain, maybe Bruno or maybe De Gea, I think then Harry Maguire can take a rest. He has played the most number of minutes in 2020 for any player in the entire world. So he
Mhm,
needs to
mhm,
rest. He needs a break, and I think. Maybe not stripping off the captaincy, but handing over to someone else will certainly be a boost to him. I think he needs some rest because his performances are good. But then if he can take a break, I think his performances might improve in the future. So yes,
mhm.
Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly for tomorrow will do the job. But again, as you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his favorite partnership is Maguire and Lindelof. So yeah, I think he'll stick with that partnership only.
And considering that he didn't he didn't play a single minute against our week match midweek game against Everton as well. So it's going to be a Harry Maguire and Lindelof partnership. So definitely, So I think it's going to be Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, and of course Aaron Wan-Bissaka
Aaron
as a normal
Wan-Bissaka.
back
Yeah.
four as well. And as far as the midfield is concerned, Ankit, I think it's going to be the same partner defensive pairing of
If McTominay is fit, and then I think McFred partnership comes in with Fred and McTominay, and then you play Bruno at the attacking midfielder. But then again, if McTominay is not fit, I'll still prefer Pogba over McTominay in this game, because against Everton, I think Pogba had a really good game from the deep position, and his qualities and his skills are pretty much needed for this Leicester game, because Leicester have also a good, solid midfield lineup. If you see Madison, Tillemans, NDD is there, Barnes is there, so they have a pretty much solid midfield lineup that they have in the squad. So if Paul Pogba plays, I'll not be excited. I'll not be unhappy, because it's a straight stop for McTominay. Considering McTominay played really well against Leeds, and if he continues the same performance, against Leicester, then it's really it's heavens for United, because all our midfielder are performing, and what you need in a squad is all your players, especially the midfield to play and the attackers to score goals. So it's working well as of now. So I'll go with
Mhm.
McTominay, Fred, and Bruno. So do you see any changes?
I don't see any changes to what you basically mentioned, considering that Fred and McTominay did not play a single minute against. They were basically rested against Everton. So it's going to be a midfield trio of McTominay, Fred, and of course Bruno Fernandes, who, of course, he's been playing a lot of games. So yeah, so it's going to be them. And so apart from that, and how about the front three, Ankit? Marcus Rashford and Martial again did not start
Yeah.
against
So they will
against
definitely
Everton.
start. So
So
there
it's
is
going
no
to
two
be
ways about it. Yeah.
yeah,
So Marcus
and
Rashford, Anthony Marshall, and then we are seeing maybe Edinson Cavani. So Edinson Cavani scored that brilliant goal against Everton in the 88th minute, and now I think he's fit. He needs more game time under his belt so that he starts performing well. He has scored great goals against Southampton, one against Everton. Sorry, two against Everton, one in the Premier League, one in the AFL Cup. So he needs to start games, and I think then we'll see the best of Cavani. So that is the pretty much lineup that we will go with, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will take the same formation, barring one or two changes in the midfield, maybe McTominay or Pogba, or maybe Bailly or Lindelof. So it's going to be interesting to see what formation does he go with. Maybe a surprise that he played James against Leeds. So maybe he'll play Mata in this game. We never know. Ole Gunnar
Mhm.
Solskjaer has that knack of making one weird change in that starting lineup. So maybe he can change one. Maybe he has a surprise under his
yes.
belt. So we'll see.
And also considering that so tomorrow, of course, 26th on Boxing Day, that we are playing against Leicester, and just 4 days later we have another tough game against Wolves as well. So, it wouldn't be a surprise if he starts playing, even Daniel James as well, and or maybe does not start Daniel James and plays him against Wolves, or has Mata as well. So again, I think the third attacking option in the front three that United plays, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a lot of flexibility over there,
Yeah,
considering
we
that
have Greenwood as
Rashford,
well.
we do have Greenwood as well. So,
And then we haven't played Igalo for a single minute in the Premier League, I think. Yeah, he played against Arsenal for a few minutes, but we haven't seen much of Igalo. So we still have Igalo at the club, though he will be going in the January transfer window. But then we have one player which we haven't utilized, but yeah, it's okay. He was just there for per temporary basis, and now he'll be going in January. But then again, we have a good attacking lineup. We still have James, Mata, Greenwood, Lingard is still at the club. So there are 4 to 5 attacking players which we still have on the bench. So looking good.
yes, Ankit, yeah. And so now, also speaking about the whole game, what are the key battles that you're expecting to watch? What will be the key battles in this match, basically?
The standout battle is going to be Jamie Vardy against our centre backs.
Hmm.
So he's gonna give them a long day if we do not defend properly. I think he's gonna give them a nightmare. Though Jamie Vardy hasn't performed great against us, I think his form is quite hot and cold when it comes to facing United. But against top teams, as you said, against Arsenal and against City, he has scored. So I'll watch out for Jamie Vardy battle against our centre backs. If you play Bailly, I think then it's going to be a very easier job comparatively if you play Lindelof. So Jamie Vardy's battle against the centre backs is the one to see.
Yes, and I think that's where the game had won against Everton, considering that we literally nullified the effects of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, who basically unfortunately got injured and sent off pretty early. So again, if we are able to negate that, I think that yes, as you mentioned, now United should be in a very comfortable position as well. And
Yeah.
how about this now, Ankit? We of course talk about United's defense being a bit brittle. Of course, they haven't had a good start in the Premier League. They've conceded two against Southampton, conceding early on all our away trips as well. And the way Liverpool is playing right now, after their injury to Van Dijk, Robertson, and Trent Alexander-Arnold also was injured. So their complete defensive backline was sometimes a makeshift. The way they've done it sometimes. So, do you think that right now the nature of game has changed in the sense that if you attack more, then you don't need to have that necessarily defensive solidity as well, considering that Liverpool plays a lot of attacking games. They constantly attack their opposition. So if our united front five, the top three, and even two of our midfielders, if they are able to constantly attack, then Leicester City, it's going to be hard for the opposition to come against us as well. Do you think would that strategy work? Would that be able to negate our defensive fragilities that we have?
I think defensive solidity is a must needed for every team in this Premier League because Liverpool had considered the least amount of goals when they won the Premier League, and they had Van Dijk at the heart of the defense. So yes, attacking wins you games, but defense wins you titles, as the great Sir Alex Ferguson said. So yes, defensive solidity is a must have. And yes, as you said, Liverpool, I think they had makeshift centre backs during that Spurs game. They played an youngster, I think Reece Williams. He played Reece Williams at the centre back, but just because Liverpool have a system, they are fullbacks. Salah and Mane, both of them track back and help their fullbacks for defending. I have seen Mane against, I think, the Wolves game, or I think it was the Spurs game. I don't remember, but he was helping Robertson in the defensive duties. So it is a whole collective unit when it comes to defense. And as you said, Liverpool have their they have been troubled with injuries, but if you see their form, I think it is again top notch. Klopp can play any player into that system and bring the best out of him. So we are comparing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Klopp system. I think not. It's very soon, but yes, defensive solidity is much needed. And the reason that we have won these two games with Leeds and Everton is that we have started on the front foot. We have always said that we have been lethargic. We have been very painful to watch in the first half. We have conceded one or two goals in the first half. If you remember the game against West Ham, we were lucky to have we only one or two goals. Sorry, one goal. We were very lucky to concede one goal in the first half. It would have been easily 2 or 3 nil to West Ham. But then again, in these two games, I think we have started very well. We have started on the front foot, press, high intensity, attack the opponent, and Everton had no answer to our attacking abilities in the last game. So I think if you play the same system, at least if we lose, I think I'm okay with it because we have inconsistencies. I'm okay with it. We have been accepting the inconsistencies of this team in the past, but if you play such attacking fluid system, then I'm okay with the inconsistencies. But I at least we have an identity. We play with some identity like Liverpool do. So yeah.
Mhm. Yes, I get. And speaking of inconsistencies and results as well, what are your score predictions for our crucial game at King Power Stadium?
Leicester haven't drawn a single game this season, and United home record away record is quite good. We have won all the away matches, so it's a very interesting battle to see. But in this game, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes conservative, then I think we will see a draw. But if
Ole
he
Matraman.
goes with the same mindset that he has gone in the Everton game as well as the Leeds game, then I think we can win this comfortably, maybe 2 or 3 nil. Because Leicester being in the second position, I think yeah they are good, but they also have their inconsistencies. They are playing in the Europa League, so it will hamper them in the near future when they uh, go into the deep stages of the Europa League. So I think this game, it all depends upon how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to set up. If he wants to go conservative like Arsenal and Chelsea, then we will see Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man City. Then I think we will see a similar score line, maybe a stalemate of nil nil, 1-1. But I'll go with 1-0 to Manchester United. What do you think?
Okay.
You expect a similar game as we played against Chelsea or Arsenal and City, or do you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer playing from the forefront and then winning this game?
I feel that United will be at least based on the previous performances, the previous 2 3 games. I feel that United is going to take this game against Leicester City as soon as the final, the first whistle is blown. So uh, it basically. So one thing that I'm looking forward to is to see how the front five of United basically attack and take the game towards Leicester City. And I feel that United can keep a clean sheet in this match. It's going to be difficult, but I feel that our team has finally gelled. Both the teams are playing, the first team, and as well as we saw the nine changes that we made. So even the bench has also got enough minutes as well. So I feel that United will comfortably take this game and win 2-0, 2-0. That's basically my prediction as well. So, of course, hopefully United definitely wins this game and, you know, uh, basically, goes second on the table as well, considering that we'll be playing, I think our game is the first game, right, in the weekend.
First game, yes, yes.
Our
This is
game
the
is the
first time
first
that we
game.
will be playing. This is the first time that we will be playing ahead of all our rivals. So it gives us a chance to pressurize them, so that their game is like a must-win. When we played against Sheffield, our game was like a must-win game to be into that contention, and we won that game. So now it's our turn to uh, put pressure on our other rival clubs. So
Hmm.
yes, it's going to be
And
very
we have
interesting to
and
see.
we, and we have Arsenal versus Chelsea as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
that is gonna be a
you
cracker
know,
of a game. If Arsenal lose and Arteta is gonna go, and maybe they will have Thomas Tuchel, who was just sacked yesterday by PSG. And as I said, the Pochettino to Manchester United boat has sailed, and now he'll be taking over PSG, which again it's gonna be very interesting to see, because Poch has never won anything. PSG, barring from their domestic form, haven't won the Champions League. So it's a very mixed match of manager and the club, but I think Pochettino will do a great job over there.
okay, uh, you know, that's a great point, Ankit. And speaking of PSG and Tuchel, according to you, was this the right decision made by PSG? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. They won the last game 4-0 and he was sacked. We were out of the UEFA Champions League and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still at the job. So I'm not criticizing and not comparing because Thomas Tuchel took them to the final of the Champions League last season, and now he's getting the sack. Maybe there was some internal conflicts. We do not know, but I think Mauricio Pochettino is the right type of managerial hiring that they have done at PSG, and maybe he can take them to the next step ahead, that is winning the Champions League, because the attacking threat that they have, Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, Icardi, you name it, they have a whole lot of Galacticos, and I think Mauricio Pochettino should maybe win them a couple of trophies along with the Champions League. So
Hmm. And finally, at least this is going to put, to bed all these talks, at least
yeah,
as for the few moments as of now, at least considering that United's form has also picked up, and now Pochettino is well set to go to PSG, to join PSG. So this is going to put bed to all those talks saying that Pochettino is going to be
yeah.
replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
But then
But
there will be always going to be a new name that comes up. Maybe it be Nagelsmann, Allegri, or any other manager. Once Ole Gunnar
Mhm.
Solskjaer doesn't perform well, we have the inconsistencies again. I think that Ole out will be trending again on Twitter.
And will this be a big miss now? To Manchester United. What do you think? I mean, now that Pochettino is going finally, so will we miss him, or how does it look like as far as the United's perspective is concerned?
I'll not say I'll miss him, but I think I always wanted Pochettino at United, because I think it was the right match. United weren't winning anything, and Pochettino hasn't won anything in his managerial career at Spurs. So I think there was hunger on both the sides to win something, and that is the reason I wanted Pochettino. He has a system. He made Spurs relevant in this Premier League and in this footballing era. So yes, I don't think that any manager or player is bigger than the club. If Mauricio Pochettino wants to come to United, I think he should have waited then. But he sees PSG as a new challenge and has taken it up. Maybe in the near future, maybe again there will be talks that Pochettino might join United, but it's okay. I'll not be very much worried about it, especially that now Ole has started performing and started getting things right. The only barrier that I see is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to win trophy at United this season. If he wins a trophy, then all the haters, all the Ole out people will be with him, because the only thing that end of the day matters is winning trophies. And if United start winning trophies, may it be FA Cup, may it be a Carabao Cup, I don't mind. But it's just we need to break that mental barrier. We haven't passed the semi-final stage. We are facing City in the EFL Cup, and that if we win that, I think if we go into that final, it's anyone's game. We are possibly facing Spurs in that EFL Cup. We are still, as you said, in the Europa League. The FA Cup is still to be played. So exciting times ahead. And if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at least wins one trophy this season, then I think I can certainly 100% back the guy, because he has made some considerable improvement. It's that only loophole which that's just sucks the life out of everything that he has progressed in this club. So one out couple of trophies is all that I need.
Yes, Ankit, and this is actually pretty synonymous considering that all these talks that's going on, all the questions that is happening. This definitely happens, to all the big clubs as well. I think a lot of questions definitely to be asked. Did Manchester United make the right decision of keeping Ole, considering what has been going on? Was it the right decision to not consider Pochettino as of now? Was it right to keep him long? Did PSG make the right decision to sack Thomas Tuchel after a wonderful campaign last season? And how are their things going to progress after Pochettino joins them as well? A lot of open questions to ask. A lot of interesting topics also, Ankit, to discuss on our future conversations as well with A to Z United. So, viewers, of course, thank you so much for joining us within this live stream. And this has been an amazing discussion as well and an amazing experience. But the only question right now that all of us are going to be concerned with regards to Manchester United is, that all of us would hope to see United win the game against Leicester City as well. So, please do let us know what are your predictions as to tomorrow's game as well. Please do let us know in the comments as well. Please do let us know as to what are your thoughts as to what's happening with PSG as well. What did they make the right decision? Is it going to be a big miss for us that we did not hire Pochettino as well? And hope to see you all again, and of course more of the match reaction as well to come, and a big announcement. Ankit, would you like to do the honors as well for tomorrow?
Yeah,
Would you like
tomorrow
to?
we will. Tomorrow we will have the watch along for the United versus Leicester game. So please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow for the watch along.
Yes, please do tune in live. It's going to be 6 p.m. We're going to be live at 5:30 p.m. IST Indian Standard Time as well,
Yeah.
and hopefully all of us together can join and watch this game as well, and hope to see United win the game and get those three important points as well. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, and say you. Yeah. Bye.